Hello! Welcome to the Learn American English channel where you learn naturally so you can speak naturally. In this video, we are going to listen to conversations about learning new things. This video is divided into two parts where the characters will talk about learning car repair and maintenance and basic food preparation. There will be a listening comprehension quiz at the end of each scene. So listen carefully and see if you get all of the questions right. Also, be sure to stay with us until the end of the video. We'll point out important words from the conversations, everyday slang, and the most common way to say things in English. Watch for these words and phrases in the subtitles. You'll find their meanings in the vocabulary section in the last part of the video. Are you excited? This should be fun! First, let's listen to a conversation between Aira and her dad as she asks him to teach her car repair and maintenance. Let's see how their conversation goes, and don't forget to note the highlighted words for their meanings at the end of this video. Let's dive in!
Dad, can I ask you something?
Of course, sweetie. What's on your mind?
You know how you and Mom gave me that car for my birthday?
Yeah, how could I forget? You were so excited.
I still am. It's just, I've been thinking, what if something happens, like a flat tire or the engine starts acting up? I don't know anything about fixing cars. What if I'm all alone and have no one to help me?
Ah, I see. You're worried about what to do in case of an emergency.
Exactly. I know this sounds silly, but I kind of thought car stuff was more for boys. Like, I've never seen a lot of girls learning how to fix cars.
I get why you'd think that, but it's just one of those old ideas. Anyone can learn how to take care of a car. You just need the right mindset.
I guess, but where do I even start? I don't want to be that girl who doesn't know anything and is stuck on the side of the road.
Start with the basics. Changing a tire, checking the oil, maybe even learning to jumpstart the car. These are simple things but super useful. I can show you some of it, or we can look up a few tutorials together.
Really? You don't think it's too hard?
Not at all. Like anything else, it's all about practice. You don't have to become a mechanic overnight. Just pick things up little by little.
I guess that makes sense. But what if I mess up?
Mistakes are part of learning. In fact, making mistakes is one of the best ways to remember what not to do.
I just thought this was all more complicated.
Things always seem more complicated until you roll up your sleeves and dive in. The trick is to not be afraid of trying. No one is born knowing how to fix cars, cook, or even tie their shoes. Everyone learns.
You make it sound so simple.
It is simple once you break it down. Plus, you'll feel proud of yourself the next time you handle something on your own. And the more you know, the more independent you'll be.
I like the sound of that, being independent. I want to feel confident when I'm out on the road.
And you will be. Just don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I just need to stop overthinking it. Thanks, Dad. I feel better about it now.
Anytime, kiddo. Let's plan a weekend where we can get our hands dirty and start learning.
Sounds like a plan.
Here are some listening comprehension questions to see how well you understood the conversation between Aira and her dad. What is Aira worried about after getting her car? Aira is worried about not knowing how to fix the car in case of an emergency. What does Aira's dad suggest she should do? Aira's dad suggests starting with the basics, like changing a tire and checking the oil. What does Aira want to feel when she's out on the road? Aira wants to feel confident and independent when she's out on the road. So, did you get all the questions correct? Let us know in the comments section. Now let's listen to a conversation between Aira and her mom as she asks her mom to teach her food prepping and cooking. Let's see how their conversation goes, and don't forget to note the highlighted words for their meanings at the end of this video. Let's begin.
Mom, can you teach me some cooking basics? I want to know how to make my own food when I go to college.
Sure, honey. It's a great idea to learn now. So what would you like to start with?
I guess basics, like meal prepping.
That's a smart place to start. It saves time and helps you eat healthier too.
That sounds perfect. I don't want to rely on instant noodles all the time, haha.
Good plan. Let's go step by step. First, you pick a few simple recipes you like. Do you know any dishes you'd like to try cooking?
Maybe pasta, stir-fry, and... oh, salads. Those are things I love and don't seem too hard.
Great choices. Pasta, stir-fry, and salads are simple but delicious. Now, once you know what you want to cook, the next step is to make a grocery list. Have you made one before?
Not really. I usually just pick what looks good, but I don't know what I actually need.
Exactly. Making a list helps you stay focused. Write down ingredients for each recipe and see what you already have at home. This way, you won't end up with 5 bags of spinach by accident.
Haha, right, that would be bad. Okay, so after I get the groceries, what's next?
Then we start prepping. For meal prepping, you chop up all your vegetables, season any meats, and maybe cook some grains in advance. This way, you'll just need to cook them together when you're ready to eat.
Oh, that's so smart. So I don't have to do everything from scratch every time.
Exactly. Do you want to try prepping something now?
Yes, let's do it. Should we start with pasta?
Sounds good. First, let's get the ingredients. We'll need pasta, olive oil, garlic, maybe some tomatoes and basil if you like. Do you want to add any vegetables or protein?
I think mushrooms would be nice. And maybe some chicken for protein?
Perfect. We'll start by boiling the pasta. So, Aira, another thing to remember is you'll need to multitask. How do you feel about that?
I think I can manage. I just have to stay focused, right?
Right, it's not as hard as it seems. Now, while the pasta boils, let's chop these mushrooms. Do you know how to chop safely?
Sort of. I think I just need to keep my fingers out of the way.
Good thinking. Keep your fingers curled back a bit. This way you won't accidentally cut yourself. And now we're multitasking. The pasta is cooking while we chop. See how much time we're saving?
Yeah, I get it now. Cooking like this feels so doable.
Eventually, you'll feel comfortable enough to try other dishes, little by little, and you'll get the hang of it.
Thanks for teaching me, Mom.
Anytime, sweetheart. I'm so proud of you for wanting to learn.
Before we review the key vocabulary from these conversations, here are some listening comprehension questions to see how well you understood the conversation between Aira and her mom. What are the first steps Aira should take for meal prepping? Aira should choose recipes she likes and make a grocery list. What vegetables and protein does Aira choose to add to her pasta? Aira chooses mushrooms and chicken. How should Aira hold her fingers while chopping to stay safe? Aira should keep her fingers curled back to avoid cutting herself. So, how many questions did you get right? Let us know in the comments section. Now let's review the vocabulary from these conversations. First, we'll review some of the natural-sounding everyday phrases used by native English speakers. Watch the video again after you study the vocabulary words to learn them even better, and subscribe to see our other videos. Roll up your sleeves. To get ready to start working or to do something challenging, get our hands dirty. To engage actively in a task, often one that involves physical work. Handle something. To manage or deal with a situation or task. Do everything from scratch. Making everything from the beginning, little by little, progressing slowly in small steps. Now let's review other key vocabulary. Emergency. A serious situation that needs immediate help or action. Mindset. The way you think about things. Overthinking. Thinking too much and making a problem seem worse than it is. Grains. Foods like rice, pasta, or oats that you might eat with meals. Multitask. To do more than one thing at the same time. Were the conversations relatable? Try using these conversations with your family and friends. Thank you for watching the Learn American English channel where you learn naturally so you can speak naturally. Please click the like button and subscribe to our channel to see more videos like this one.